Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is the 9th of January. Look at this crowd. Woohoo! We have got a great crowd today. Man, God, we got all our snowbirds back. This is wonderful. We have all kinds of videos today, so we are going to get started. And first, Barb, oh, there you are. Barb has got a video for us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it, and we'll see what you got.
This is a video I made last March because we had friends from Indiana that were going to go hiking at Joshua National Park and go to Palm Springs. And then they were just going to come down here for a couple of nights. So very short visit, first visit to see Green Valley. So I thought, well, it might be fun to pull some of my photos from years past and give them a broader picture of what they could see in 2 days. So that's why I initially made
this is the result.
I tweaked it.
All right. Well, let's take a look and see what you got here. All right, what do we think?
That could be a promotional video for Southeast Arizona.
That was great. Wow. Wow, how you captured all those pieces that we all love.
Oh, go ahead.
We just arrived a week ago, so, I was trying to research more music.
Yeah,
I really liked this.
Sure.
But because of the length of this one, I felt like we needed these two songs.
sure,
I need an opinion on that. I
Sure.
just didn't, it took me a long time to put the music.
sure. Well, but certainly the pace of it for your first go around in terms of that song the first time, I thought the music was perfect with the slides and the amount of time that they were up. It was really peppy, which was great. I have a couple thoughts on that. There's two ways you can go about this. What if you broke this up into two videos? Because it is long. What if you did one that would be like the Green Valley, Tucson area, and then say the surrounding area, like the Bisbees and all these other places that are outside of that area, to give it a little bit so it's not so long would be an idea. And then, because I think what happens is, as each of these sections, kind of the music ends, you think, oh, okay, it's done. And then, oh, here it comes again.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh my God, how long is this going on? It maybe be a little too long. So that would be a thought. The other thought I had too, just on, because the title comes up, what if you would leave the title up during that section of slides? So meaning, like you've got the text up there. So I know that it's Bisbee. You have Bisbee, let's say the golf tour of Bisbee, and then you got a couple more slides of Bisbee. Have that stay up there, Bisbee golf tour.
For each one.
Yeah, for each little section, so you kind of know, okay, here's the smile in Arizona. Okay, great, 5 or 6 shots. So that's just another thought. Anybody else? What do you think of that?
Maybe a little more variety in the music.
Well,
It's got a little forgotten stuff.
kind of missed it, but you're right. No, it's
The music could almost go like in a few pieces, like the slides, like, you know, cowboy music, hiking music, that kind of thing. And give it some variety. I myself kind of like pirated music, which if you want to show this on YouTube or something, you can't use, but for your friends, you could.
or maybe even their thought too, maybe a change of pace with you. So you've got the first one that's kind of peppy, then come in with something that's a little, you know, solo guitar, acoustic guitar, something like that, and give us a little bit of that, and maybe a little longer, and then come back with a third song at the end if you want to keep going. At some point, maybe in a week or so, whole demo on mixing and getting those two songs to come together. It would be too much because I think you probably repeated that about 4 times. It would become monotonous, but I'll show how to do that a little better in blend. If you're going to have 2 songs that are the same song, how you can mix it together and make it sound
I
good.
struggle with I do.
Yeah.
And just use the basic.
Sure.
And so struggle with trying to make that transition from one song to the next.
We'll work on it.
That's good.
Yeah, Mike.
The part I thought was really cute, and I was laughing. And we stir the vineyard, and this is their idea of Arizona wine.
Kevin, could you repeat what she said? Because we couldn't hear people so far away.
Oh, well, as what Monica said?
Yes.
Hang on a second. Let me see something. Oh. That's probably going to sound better. Monica, talk a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes. Now I can. Good.
What I said was I thought it was really cute when she got to the Arizona vineyard and showed the vineyard itself, and there was nothing on the vines. And I said, that's an apropos shot for the Arizona vineyard or Arizona wine. And so,
All right.
All right.
Does anybody have
else to add about that video? Yeah, go ahead, Lynn.
I thought it was a wonderful video, but there was one slide, it was labeled as Tucson Graveyard. And it's actually FEMA Air Museum.
Well, no, that's the boneyard.
It is the boneyard.
Boneyard.
Oh, Tucson Graveyard?
No, the boneyard.
It's called boneyard, yeah.
There's a more official name for it.
Yeah.
That's what everybody generically knows it as.
Oh. The boneyard. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Hey, Grace, why don't you tell us about your ping pong video?
Okay, sure. So as you probably know, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're fine, Grace.
All right. So I'm working with Kevin trying to learn Final Cut Pro. And so I needed some footage to work with. And my friend down the hall and the CEO of, not the CEOs, the COO of Mary's Woods play ping pong at 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursday morning. So I thought, okay, that'll give me a chance to get some footage and to do something with. So I went there, shot for about half an hour through 3 games. And I have cut it down to 1 minute, 36 seconds because that's the length of the song that I put on. And the interesting thing is he's German. I learned later from somebody else that everybody plays table tennis in Germany, and his techniques are so unique that it was fun to watch. So basically, that's it. And I was trying to learn. I used titles and fonts and moved those around, and I managed to get some transitions in this time.
Oh, we lost you there for a second. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and play this.
Okay.
I like that.
What did you think of that?
Oh, it's fun.
That was fun.
But where is this? This definitely wasn't Arizona scenery outside the window.
No, it isn't. I'm in Lake Oswego, Oregon, outside of Portland. Yeah.
Yes.
The titles, I use the title slide that has the curly cues on the bottom because that pretty closely resembles the logo for Mary's Woods with the ivy and stuff.
It was cute. It was fun. It made me want to play table tennis again. They have they used to have it at the West Center at Green Valley.
It's not lock and bonds.
Oh. Does anybody have anything? I have some thoughts, but I don't want to be the only one with thoughts. Yes, Monica.
I would have liked to have seen one of the shots when they were playing go all the way through. It was like they're getting to the good part, and then all of a sudden it cuts to another scene, and it's like, no,
Well, I cut them when they faulted. So the next ending of that rally would have been the default.
Yes, Todd.
I was just gonna say, maybe some shots from behind each of them, so like an over the shoulder shot, so to speak. I know you gotta be careful then backing up and moving around and everything, but just from different perspective. Or if you had, what are you using to film this with?
iPhone 13 Pro.
iPhone. So if you have a selfie stick or something, maybe something up high, to get it from a different angle.
Well, this isn't a finished product, so they play every Thursday, so I can go get some more footage too.
That's good.
Here's the thought I had too, just as a quickie. You started with all these shots where you're from the side, and I was like, okay, we keep seeing the same sort of a shot. Well, then at the end, you had some different angles, which was great. Well, intersperse those like you had with like a rear 3/4 and stuff, either way, and mix up those shots a little bit. So it doesn't have to be the linear in terms of the game from start to finish. We don't know what's going on and who's scoring, so who cares? So I'd say just mix up some of those shots a little bit so that it's not the same shot each time, is my thought.
Maybe also, if it is a match that they are playing, somewhere you have a little box that shows the score. Because we didn't know what the score was when we just saw them hitting the ball back and forth.
Right. Yeah.
It's possible. Does anybody know about that? Is my thought.
Well, in the end, she said what
Oh, the guy won. Well, you could put the score at the end.
Yeah, but the guy didn't win. He won.
Or just-
Some of those shots, he was better than.
I found myself concentrating a little bit on the trucks and the cars.
Oh. Well, I mean, I didn't think about that. We could have put shades down because those windows have shades.
Oh, that would have been a good idea. Yeah.
Okay, shades down.
I like the idea though of having a little box with the score because that adds interest, especially like when it transitions to the next scene, a little, 1, 2 or what I don't know.
Sure.
I can take that.
That's interesting. It's fun.
Well, the beauty of it is we don't have to do everything the same way. We can all be different in how we approach it.
It should be.
Well, yeah, because otherwise it's going to be a damn boring group if we all do it the same.
Yeah.
So, it's nice to have a little variety and what you might like, I may not like, and what I like, you may not like, and that's fine. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
I did notice, Grace, on the title, first, right at the beginning, Mary Woods something, done in white. It was whatever background you had there, and I don't recall, it made it hard. It didn't make the title hard.
Yeah. Okay. Open title. Make it.
Oh, you're right there.
Right there.
Hang on. I'm going to show that for everybody.
It blends in too much with the background.
Yeah, I agree.
There you go. Yeah, so just, go ahead.
I say I can make that dark green like the scrolling because that actually writes in. If you play it, it starts with nothing and writes the Mary's Woods in.
I didn't even notice that.
Here's the other goodie too, and this is for those, what we see on the TV screen versus what you see on the monitor. You see that the contrast is not,
Yes.
if we are higher contrast, bump up everything a little bit on the TV screen. If you look, you see it better here on the computer, but still, I think if you change the color, that would be really nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have anything on that? Okay. Arlene, why don't you tell us about your video?
Oh, well, it's just a video of Yosemite.
Well,
We went to Yosemite. That's it.
just that easy, huh?
Just that easy.
Okay.
After watching one of the Hallmark romances, which was filmed in Yosemite, I knew where Jimmy and I would head next. As we entered into Yosemite Valley, wow is all we could say. The breathtaking vistas as you enter Yosemite Valley is something that you have to experience for yourself. Words can't describe the incredible beauty. Yosemite is not just a beautiful valley, but has awe-inspiring cliffs. Those giant watchtowers of granite like Half Dome and El Capitan. The power of glaciers, dramatic waterfalls, ancient giant sequoias, and the tranquility of the High Sierra. It's like seeing heaven on earth. First protected in 1864, Yosemite National Park is best known for its vast wilderness area. But within its nearly 1,200 square miles, you can also find beautiful meadows and more than 800 miles of world-class trails. Yosemite is truly a paradise for any hiker, and you don't have to be fit to enjoy hiking some of the trails. The rock faces that grace Yosemite never fails to inspire. Huge slabs of exposed granite soaking up the sun, cliff faces rising thousands of vertical feet, and of course, the top geologic influencer of them all, Half Dome. Indeed, Yosemite domes are stuff of legend. John Muir considered them friends, writing, "All of the rocks seem talkative. I bathed in the bright river, sauntered over the meadows, conversed with the domes, and played with the pines. Now that's some Sierra hospitality." It is by far the grandest of all the special temples of nature I was ever permitted to enter. John Muir. While other national parks have their signature attractions, Yosemite has granite domes. The multi-million-dollar question is, why? The answer, as it turns out, is nothing less dramatic than fire and ice. Millions of years ago, during the volcanic age, molten magma cooled in underground chambers, forming interlocking dark crystals of biotite and hornblende, as well as light-colored crystals of feldspar and quartz. The result was an incredibly strong and multicolored rock, granite. Tectonic activity then pushed these underground formations to the surface of the earth 10 to 15,000 years ago, when the glaciers of the last ice age started bullying their way through the peaks and river valleys of the Sierra Nevada. But the glaciers underestimated their opponent. The tough granite rebuffed their advances, and the erosion was left to lesser rocks. The resulting cliffs and domes, always mottled, sometimes smoothed, became the stunning Yosemite landscape we see today. Yosemite Valley, to me, is always a surprise, a glitter of green and golden wonder in a vast edifice of stone and space. Ansel Adams. The struggle you're in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow. Robert Hu. live in a world that is full of beauty, charm, and adventure. There is no end to the adventure we can have if only we seek them with our eyes open. Jawaharlal Nehru.
What do we think?
I think on some of your tilts and your pans, either in editing to go a little bit slower because it's such beautiful imagery and everything, you're just going real fast, so you really don't get a good opportunity to see it.
The other thing I would do is I would separate the mountain climbing portion of it from the other portion. Because it just, I didn't think it fit for this particular video because it was so calm and serene, and then all of a sudden you're talking about 30 people dying. It's like, okay. So not to mention the bear attack for those. So, but I just thought it was two separate videos that went in together. So that's what I would do. But, and I agree with Todd, I would slow it down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Section where it was near the end, where you were sitting at a log and talking, and right through that area, the music was so loud we couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sure.
I loved the photography with the frames on it. Those are just so stunning. The beginning, the motion, I was starting to feel seasick. Especially like going up and down the waterfall. I had to close my eyes. Didn't see Avatar in 3D. Okay, thank you. And there was one other thing. Oh, when it said farewell, to me that was like the end. So then when it like kept going, it's like, oh, okay. But it's so yeah. Anyway, that was but that was such beautiful photography, and I loved your narration and the story.
The backstory is outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the one little thing that I picked up on was that John Muir quote where they're talking about the majesty of the mountains and everything. and the quote ends up down in the screen. You know, the image behind it, rather than panning up toward the those, if you know what I'm talking about, that little section. But those are excellent quotes.
Quick time, yeah, just one other thing. For consistency, most of the time, I think all but one time, you say John Muir, but one time you just put J Muir and everything, and to me, I'd be consistent one way or the other.
Yep. Holly, did you have something? Or Grace
Well,
did?
yeah, I like the photography, and it was blurry though here. It was often out of focus. I think that might be a Zoom thing.
Probably.
I'm not sure. But it seemed pretty consistently out of focus. So maybe I need new glasses. Or it's just what Zoom did to it. But also I love the narration and the quotes, but sometimes the music overpowered them. So I would adjust the music lower during the quotes and narration. That's all. It was great.
Grace, go ahead.
Okay, well, I had several things. I loved the still photos with the frames. I thought those were, I mean, it looks like you were photographing somebody, a professional's photographs, which you were. They are yours. The transitions between, not so much. I would stop to, cross dissolve, and that would be the only transition I would like to see between those pictures. The other part, as was mentioned with the video, I found very difficult to watch. And if you're going to do video with pans and zooms, you may want to invest in a fluid head tripod. Because then you get smooth motion. And handheld, it just it didn't quite work. Or it was too fast. Yeah.
My thought too on that, just as a quick goodie, next time, you're doing some tighter shots, like with the waterfalls and stuff, add an establishing shot, a wide shot that doesn't move. So let's say there's a wider shot of the waterfall, have that be like a first shot, and then come in for a close-up or something. Just to kind of give it a little bit of where are we at? What are we looking at? Would be good. The other thought that I had too was you had some quotes that you had text on screen, and then you had some where you didn't. And I was kind of wanting to see you have that same style all the way through. And I thought that would have been nice. And then the last thing, the audio you heard, obviously, with the narration, the music got a little too hot there. But there was also the part where the music faded, and then there's a little bit more that's going on. I was ready to stop the video because there was probably a good 3-4 seconds where there was nothing. The other thought that I had too, I have lots of thoughts, but I will minimize this. You put your credits up, have a picture of you at the end, one of those shots of you, and put your credits up with that photo. Like the farewell shot, or one of the shots where you were sitting by the lake or whatever. That kind of brings it home that this is your creation. We've got your text, and away we go. Okay. So that's another thought. Yeah.
I just, going back to the things that some of us like and others don't like. I love your transitions. I got really excited when I was watching.
Of course.
Right.
Good. Does anybody else have any thoughts on that?
Well, you know what this means. You gotta go back and do a sample.
Well, sure. Okay. Nobody else
on the very end, because that just stayed up on the screen. You should have faded it out so we knew.
And I guess too that there was no music at the end, and so after seeing that first time where it kind of the music ended, and like I said, I was ready to stop it, and then here's the climbing part. Okay, same thing at the very end. I wasn't sure. Okay, is this still going on? Yeah. So maybe that's a thing where you think, okay, I know this music is ending. I've got to end it with some visual graphic. I need to shorten something else up in the piece to let that end on time. So that's a thought.
But I like the ending quote thing because it was on long enough for me to read it.
Yes.
Well, it isn't.
Yeah, which is great. All right.
So nothing another 8 to 10 hours of editing won't take.
All right. Julie, why don't you tell us about your little teaser here for your blouse trip?
Okay, so this is a small section of what will be in episode 2 of our big trip. So this will be an insert. I did stick at the end a little credit because I used some YouTube music. And so so it's not really an ending. I mean, that's just going to come off when it gets inserted. So there won't be music with it. It's just all of a sudden going to show up.
Okay.
If it's not going to stay.
All right. Well, let's see what you got. Let's see. There's Laos. Okay.
It was a truly beautiful day, living the life of a Laotian, starting with the daily morning ritual of giving alms to the monks. For the people, it sets up their day for blessings. For the monks, it provides their nourishment for the day, along with providing the people an opportunity to be blessed in giving. When we had given all our rice, we stood back and observed, then stopped at the temple with additional provisions. This ritual is followed by a traditional Lao breakfast. Now it's time to shop in the morning market for the afternoon lunch in a Hmong village.
You can have that one.
The locals have no need for refrigeration, as fresh food is purchased daily in the morning market. And up the mountain we go to the Hmong village, where we are greeted by the village leaders and curious children. Some of our travel money has been used to install electricity, toilets, and water towers, paint interior and exterior of buildings, and build a school. The visit with the school was very special. Next stop was to meet their local shaman in her home. She also demonstrated how she makes moonshine and shared samples with us. Then an amazing treat. The village chief shared their New Year blessing dance. Followed by a traditional village lunch. In the meantime, Chef Fred prepared a U.S. dish as a gift for the village leaders. He did a great job making shrimp scampi over wood fire. Khop jai lai lai.
All right. What do we think?
I would love to know what the breakfast consisted of. And was that silkworm larvae that you were having?
It was wasp larvae.
Wasp. Okay, because I knew it was some sort of, and having spent 9.5 years in Asia, I knew it was something that crawled.
I had done the earlier picture in the market of the wasp larva, so I didn't think that I needed to say it again.
Okay.
You said wasp larvae fresh.
Yeah.
I found that a little.
Yeah.
But just what it was that they were making, breakfast consisted of, and whatever ingredients they had.
Yeah, and I didn't make note of any of that.
Okay,
So I
okay.
really.
Was it good?
It was
Unusual.
it was different.
Yeah.
It tastes like chicken.
It did not.
Sherry, I want to know whether or not at somewhere along there you had tarantulas.
That was in, wasn't that in the previous video, or it's coming up? Maybe that was in Cambodia.
Okay, the answer is yes. So you had them.
We definitely ate tarantula, and it'll be up in one of the other episodes. It was not allowed.
Yeah, there you go.
This all looks familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
As always, you did a great job with your narration. I always just marvel at your enthusiasm. It comes across, your voice and your enthusiasm comes across in this. And the mixing level was really nice on the audio with the music and stuff. And then I thought the thing with the kids singing was just like, wow, that was so good. So well done.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see more of these.
Yes.
Okay. Let's do this. Does anybody else have anything on that? Lynn, I'm going to show one of your two videos today. Which one do you want me to show?
They need to be shown together. So,
Okay. No, I can
Next time.
I can show both of them.
okay, one is 3 minutes and one is 4 minutes.
Oh, okay. That's fine then. Which one do you want to see first? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter. The
Okay.
thing is, we made one video, and I like one song, and like the other song.
Okay.
So, which video do people like the best?
Okay. All right. Well, let's start. We're going to start with the Holy Night first. And where is this at? So people know?
Tuba Concrete.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
First thing on the Silent Night video, license was spelled wrong on the ending credit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
but I happen to like the second Oh Holy Night better, the song better because of the second verse especially. I didn't like the version of Oh Holy Night because she gets quite piercing in the on. So and I'm not really sure if I would do it as an instrumental on Oh Holy Night, because then you don't get the words of the second verse. But maybe find somebody who is an alto that's singing it rather than a soprano.
Oh, okay.
Just personal, you know, because I wish I could sing like she does. I don't. I'm an alto.
Are you voluntary?
But that's the only thing I would change. I like the Silent Night one too. Don't get me wrong, but I love the second verse where it's talking about the lights and it just draws everything in. It gives the reason why they do that at Jim and Cochran.
Sherry Lee, what do you think?
The photography in there is gorgeous. I liked the instrumental one better, but I felt like you were changing the pictures too fast. I would have less pictures and maybe run them for like 6 seconds instead of, some of them were at 2, some of them were at 3 before transitioning them. I would they just were moving too quick for a silent night. Okay. That was mine. And then there were a couple shots in there that had green in the middle of them. Very distracting. I would take those out.
Green light?
Yeah.
The green light with the spikes coming out.
There was the one with the spike, and then there were 2 others where they were further away, but the green was in there, so they either need to edit it out or not use those pictures. That was just my thought. The very end, your last picture, and then you went into the credits. The transition wasn't a smooth transition. I'm not sure if it missed the transition or not. What happened? I don't know. Just kind of jerky that in the last little bit.
Yeah, I was surprised that the inside of the church looked so red here because it didn't look that red at home.
Yeah.
You know what, though? Again, that's the monitor versus what you're seeing on the computer monitor. The TV, this is over exaggerating some of the colors and the contrast. So, because I was sitting there just as a quick hoodie, I was looking back and forth at times between the monitor and the TV or the computer, and stuff that I was seeing up there, I wasn't seeing here. So, go ahead.
I just want to say some of the ones that were darker, there's just a lot of noise in that I find distracting. That, like Sherry's saying, maybe leave some of the other images on longer and just eliminate those ones with all the noise.
You know, the other thing too, and this is a great example of you like Holy Night, you like Silent Night, I like the Silent Night. Music is so subjective with any of these things. You're never going to please everybody, so please yourself.
Right.
Whatever you think is the best song, that's the song to go with. Versus, okay, I got half the room that likes this and the other half doesn't, or, you know, whatever.
Right. Right. I just wondered, are the pictures up there long enough, too long, you know, because we're going, you know, for the songs.
Some pruning would be a good thing. And the other thing too is just because a song is 4 minutes long, it doesn't mean your slideshow has to be 4 minutes long.
Yeah, right.
It could literally be 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
Yeah, but if it's the vocal, you can't cut it off halfway.
Well, and that's maybe a consideration for down the road.
This is a known song like Silent Night. People are expecting it to end at a certain point.
Right.
So to cut it off early, you know, it may be distracting in itself. I thought Silent Night really set the mood though for the images. So obviously you can see that their husband was our family and yours. So.
It's lasted 49 years. I have.
So does your video editing have beat recognition in the audio?
There is, but we've not used it. We don't know how to use it.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But the transition on the beats and everything would just make it smoother. The other thing I thought is some of the transitions happen too fast, or maybe that's what you were saying. They just need to be stretched out a little bit longer, you know, a couple frames coming in instead of just one frame, one frame out and boom.
Because all the transitions were 1 second.
Yeah, you could, depending on the software, you can stretch those out.
Right.
And sometimes that makes it a lot smoother in the transition.
Does anybody else have anything on that?
Yeah, I agree with Todd on the transitions. And there were a couple transitions where the photo sort of moved to the left as a whole, almost like a page turner. There's only two that I caught on the Oh Holy Night one, and that was very distracting. And I happen to be a fan of the Oh Holy Night because I've been there to Tumacacri and it's hardly silent, let me tell you. So I like that one better. But the basic idea was very good. Very good. And it was nice to see that again.
They only do it on Christmas Eve, and they do not advertise it because they'll get too many people.
Yeah, Phil Rock and I have a YouTube video on Tumacacri Christmas Eve if you want to look at that. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to go to.
Okay. Catherine, if I save your video for next week, is that okay? Yeah. She's got one that she says a little longer, about 12 minutes, and we're kind of over our time tonight. Does anybody else have anything before I shut down the party? No? Okay. We are meeting again next week here in the club. What is that? The 16th? Next Monday is the 16th, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, I got the date right. And it's January too, which is amazing that I didn't even know that.
I do want to say Speaker Series is this week, Thursday the 12th, and for a weird change, it's at 9 in the morning in the Anza room or on Zoom. So I hope you all register and come.
And we also have tonight as well as Showtime, and that's over at Desert Hills.
Yes.
Yes.
7 o'clock.
Yes, and tomorrow's travel log.
Tomorrow's travel log
Here
as well.
at the
Anza room. So we have all kinds of stuff going on at the club. So please come out, join us.
Yes, travel log is only in house. We're not doing it Zoom. We're not Zooming it.
Okay.
Oh, really?
So we'll do hybrid for Showtime, and no travel log will not be Zoom.
Todd, is Travelog still at 7 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And Showtime's 9 a.m. for you early birds.
No.
Speaker series.
Speaker series. Sorry.
Series.
Should get that.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Have a great week. We'll start next week.